All right, welcome back to another episode of the Ricky Anderson podcast, the greatest of all podcasts, the GOAP. After only a couple of days, we had Casey Pratt on earlier this week, but now we got the boys from Last Dive Bar. We got Bryan Johansen and Paul Bailey, the dudes who made the Fans Fest happen, or one of the many dudes who made the Fans Fest happen, and my co-host Hal Gordon.
Hot dog.
Hal's also dressed like a possum for our audio only. So that's why you should go on YouTube to see Hal dressed as a possum for the whole interview.
Yeah, I was dressed like a normal person, and the Last Dive Bar guys, they bought this possum costume for the freaking Fans Fest and made me wear it. And I get on this call, and Brian's like, "Where's your possum costume? Put that on. I bought that for you."
Yo, we didn't have to twist his arm that hard though.
No,
he just said the word possum, and Hal went running. Yeah.
We said we got a possum costume and 1,000 stickers.
We bought the possum costume without anybody in mind, and like 8 seconds after we bought it, Brian's like, "Hal." We're like, "Yeah, Hal. Give me Hal."
I don't even recognize you without the possum costume now. Now I recognize.
Fucking no brainer.
I recognize you. Yeah. Well, dudes, I just saw. So it's Thursday night about 6:30 on the West Coast, and I just saw John Shea just publish an article today quoting you guys, and actually quoting your treasurer. Of course, you guys are in the headlines. You guys can't stay out of the headlines. I love it. Before we get into Fans Fest, we definitely want to talk about Fans Fest. But so word on the streets, John Shea, or word on the streets is that there might be some resistance to your opening day boycott. They might try to kick you out or something, or limit tailgating. What's the deal? What have you heard? And where did that story kind of generate from, you know?
Yeah. So we got, so I got, Last Dive Bar, we got a DM over on Instagram, and a guy was claiming that a good friend of his, who's a supervisor for the parking lot for the A's, basically was communicated to that after the first pitch that they were to clear out the parking lot. And so we talked back and forth on this, because I'm like, there's no way they can do that. Todd and the 68s, they got confirmation from the property management group, not JPA, but the property management group, that that we can do this. We can, just similar to like the reverse boycott, right? And that we can do this. And so
I emailed them before Thanksgiving to ask them. I was worried.
Yeah. So we got hard confirmation from them that we could do this. So I was like a little skeptical about it, but still, I mean, it reeks of like the Drake situation where, no, we didn't do this, and just them getting involved and getting meddling or trying to find out, and trying to get information and stuff. And so, we wouldn't put it past them that there was some sort of communication that occurred, but we didn't know. And so, like we do, we post it, you know what I mean? Because put it out there, because the A's aren't going to openly communicate to anybody. So we wanted to put it out there and force the hand and get confirmation from them whether it can or can't happen. And then very quickly, John Shea was on top of it. And obviously, the A's came out and said, no, there's not going to be any efforts to stop the protest, stop people coming in. And so with that, party on.
So you think it's good? You think you actually gonna have no interference? I mean, it sounds like you guys like went to the right sources and everything,
I don't think they could have done anything. I think, okay, so my little conspiracy mind started spinning, right? And I think what they were trying to do is low key put a little bit of a word out there that would happen to keep people from coming. Like, they can't really do anything, but they could, say a little thing here, say a little thing there, word gets around, and not so many people show up, and it makes us look like we fell flat on our face. I think that was kind of the end goal. Like, they know they can't do anything.
Yeah, so we basically got ahead of that. You know what I mean? We got ahead of that, and we're just like,
yeah,
oh,
we
no,
did.
You trying to play checkers and shit. LDB, Oakland 68s, we play mahjong, we play chess, we play backgammon, man. We play Monopoly on steroids. Like, Monopoly. I'm sorry, dude. I'm like, Monopoly. If you want to get this kind of this leak or whatever going out there, and say that we're going to be stopping people from coming in and trying to dissuade the public from being there. Nah, we're on top of that. We need an official statement from you guys, and we know how to get it.
Dude, I love it. Dude, I love how you and the 68s are just like this season and just like throwing down. You're just like, nah. No, yeah,
Yo, dude,
you put on the gloves,
What do we
like
have to
let's
lose?
go.
What do we have to
it's
lose?
what do we
Literally
have to
the
lose? Our
last
team?
season. Yeah, they're already going.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like when Hulk Hogan teamed up with like what was that Macho Man and
Fucking
had to make numbers and shit. You know what I mean? Like you got now the two groups working together. We got a group text. We're on top of this shit, man. I mean, they can't put anything. They can't get anything past us or get ahead of us. You know what I mean? Not
Hell
with
yeah, brother.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's like it's their worst nightmare, dude. You got LDB and fucking
The
Oakland 68s
68s.
all up in your ass. Like this shit ain't gonna stop. And you
Hal,
throw a
Don't forget
possum in
the
the mix.
don't forget the possum.
I was gonna say,
You throw
Hal,
a
what you
possum
got,
in there.
dude? What you got, Hal?
Hey man, I'm drinking an almanac. An almanac.
Hey, big time fan
What?
fest sponsor.
Huge fan fest sponsor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what we
So,
do.
Delicious.
so what's so what? I mean, are you guys back down to earth yet from Fans Fest or what? How are you feeling? Like, I mean, I know it's been what 4 or 5 days or something like that. It probably seems like an eternity, but but I mean, I mean, what was you guys' reaction to that? You know, I would love to hear from you guys.
It's
You first,
amazing.
Paul.
I still have coworkers coming up to me at work who didn't go. They're like, I should have gone. I should have gone. Because I had one coworker who went and he told our entire plant about it. And so I'm having people come up to me and they're like, man, I should have gone. I knew I should have gone. This guy I work directly with, he's like, man, why didn't you tell me it was gonna be so cool? And I was like, bro, you just gotta just follow
you gotta
me and
know.
everything
You
will
gotta
be all
know.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Come to the boycott.
But yeah, I'm trying to convince him to come to the boycott, but I think he's working that night. Because I'm off. But yeah, I mean, it's been really cool. I'm actually trying to springboard this into a new job, so like, it's been pretty fucking sick. And the crazy thing about it is I feel like this is kind of the beginning for like this year. I think is going to be really big for us. We've got some ideas. Obviously, we have a big meeting coming up soon, where we're going to really nail stuff down. But I think this is just our springboard. It got us a big splash. It got us attention. It got us a lot of attention. Like our
Yeah.
email is full of people wanting to work with us now. And I could just imagine what the 68's email looks like. But
That's
we've
amazing,
left a
dude.
lot of people on red in our email. Like we haven't responded to them. Huh,
Oh,
Bryan?
wow.
Yeah.
Celebrities.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Dude, I love it. Dude, I freaking love it. I remember interviewing you guys right before you were about to start this thing too. You're like, "Oh, we got something big in the plans." And dude, look at it now. It's
We're
amazing, dude.
always like that though. We from the beginning we've always like
Mhm.
thought what's the next thing we're gonna do? What's next? What's next? What's next? And like it seems like a lot of them like do really well, or they just kind of like the Astros thing just didn't happen. That's probably the biggest regret I have that we weren't able to pull off. But we're always constantly plotting and scheming and
What was the
group
Astros thing?
chats.
What was that?
So uh, in 2020, we were gonna do the Battle of the Bang, and we had like inflatable garbage cans, and because the Astros were gonna
It
come
was their
on
first
opening
game,
day.
first game
Yeah,
back
yeah.
since the whole scandal
And
and everything, right?
and
Yeah.
we had all these photoshops done. We were gonna do cheer cards and give cheer cards to everybody behind the Astros dugout. We just had all these plans, and they just never came to fruition because of COVID and everything.
The Battle
So
of the Battle of the Bang was the first time I'd sort of like heard about you guys because I wanted to when I was vending, because it was like opening night, right?
yeah,
Against the Astros.
yeah.
So in 2020. So, like I was just gonna bring, I was just because I'm walking around, I like to make noise. So instead of banging my hot dog thing, I was gonna bring a small trash can
I'm
with
sorry,
me.
Hal. I can't take you seriously. I can't. This is really hard to
Hands,
do.
dude.
This you got the
See his little
tail
tail.
flapping
See his
around. You
tail.
got the hands. I'm like, what?
I don't
I'm sorry.
understand.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
Sorry.
Look
People
at his
listening
cute
to this
little
on the
paws.
podcast. People
Podcast.
listen to this on the podcast are gonna be real confused.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Go
made me
on
dress
YouTube.
up like a furry for this conversation. I'm sorry,
Uh,
uh, but, uh, yeah, but like I wanted to get like, and I think I saw somewhere on social media one of your logos with the Trastros logos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I remember going on to WTFBryan.com or whatever it was. And I found that I bought a big sticker because I want to put it on my trash can. And you guys, not only you guys sent me that sticker, you sent me a free shirt and like a message like, "Whoa, what up, Hal?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, this is sick."
We love your wieners.
Oh my God, this show's just getting like
A nice
story.
story.
So tonight, I mean, I don't know, I can cut this out later if it's not cool, but tonight you guys are doing some brainstorming with the 68s about opening day. Is that right? Is that cool? We
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
that, all right? Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
we don't
we
know
can
what you
mention
guys are
some
gonna
stuff.
talk about. You don't know what you're gonna talk about, but you guys got some
Yeah.
plans in the works, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, if anybody was at the reverse boycott, anybody saw videos of the reverse boycott, the Unite the Bay. I mean, this thing's gonna be massive. You know what I mean? And so the expectation is there's gonna be 15, 20,000 people there, hopefully more, right? And then it's gonna just be massive. So tonight's our first meeting. And so we're going to be acting like real quick on this and making some quick decisions because we got to start putting some marketing stuff out there and doing all that. So a lot of the decisions will be made tonight that will kind of get this ball rolling. But yeah, you can expect the unexpected and the expected. What's on record right now is we got 5,000 subs that we'll be handing out. I haven't talked to Paul yet, but I want to do an acrylic pin of the official boycott tee that we got dropping tomorrow. And so I want to do some acrylic pins, Paul. So I hope you don't mind. Maybe we can check.
We can debate that right now, I guess. Actually, yeah, let's just fucking do it. Like,
I love.
So we want to do
that.
that.
We just saw last time our business in the.
This is kind of how it goes. It's kind of like it's kind of like me or Bryan messages the other person and goes, "What do you think of this?" He goes, "Yes."
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be in the same. It's going to be in the same spot that it was last time. We'll have massive setup. We'll have our booth out there. Me and Paul, we're doing games. So we got NorCal Nodders. He's going to be making this this thing where the little clowns that you throw the ball at and you knock down the clowns. So we're going to basically have one of those. So where you can come up, play the game, you knock down one, you get a calendar. You knock down two, you get a calendar and a pin. You knock down like all of them, then you're gonna get a cowbell, right? So we're gonna have some giveaways. We're gonna have tons of giveaway stuff at our booth. Any leftover FanFest buttons that are currently on our website, we'll be giving out the FanFest buttons. We'll have a little additional giveaway. We'll have a little additional giveaway with the pins and stuff like that. So there's just going to be so much stuff for like fans in attendance. And the goal is to keep everybody entertained the entire duration of the game to where there's no temptation to want to even enter the game, right? There's going to be live music. There's going to be food. There's going to be, like I said, games, giveaways. So, I mean, it's going to be...
game's going to be on the radio too, right? Like you're going to be able to... I mean, I'm sure people are going to be blasting out of their cars too, right? Or do you not even want people to listen to the game or what? Like, what do you... like?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because, I mean, there are some people that, like, I mean, opening day, it's like, this is the first opening day in, I don't know, 20-something years that I haven't been to. So it's like, some people want the opportunity to listen to the game, watch the game. So we'll have, certain options that we'll have to discuss tonight and everything. But yeah, definitely like, everybody's going to be tailgating around the entire parking lot. So I mean, just it's going to be like Burning Man there. You know what I mean? It's going to be massive, dude.
I hope not. I hope it's not like Burning Man. No.
Yeah, and I know people are like, oh, but then you got to pay for parking and give John Fisher money. Who gives a shit? Pay it. Come party. This is going to be epic. If you feel bad about that, then triple what you paid on parking and get that to schools over stadiums. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, if you feel so bad about giving John Fisher money, then triple that up and put money towards stopping the money that he would be getting in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? So, I'm going crazy. I'm like, dude, what if we raise $1 million to stop $380 million? Like, what if we did that as fans? Like, how insane would that be? Raise $1 million on one night and boom, gets on the ballot like that. Like, that'd be crazy. It'd be crazy,
Boom. Yeah.
So now the
finite Stadiums is going to be out there again. So
yeah,
they'll be out there in the parking lot.
Yeah, but like the details and everything like that, like we'll put out all that stuff, just like reverse boycott, how we put out the map, instructions and stuff like that. And we'll, obviously we'll set up some stuff with like, when you get your flag, okay, then, shit, who knows, we'll have like some chant or something and you fly all the flags, like get some drone shots of that.
Well,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
How's
It'd
that
be
day
so-
was for the 5th inning? Everybody honks on their horns and shit like that. Instead of a moment
Yeah,
of standing up, like
exactly.
everybody, bam, 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 bam. That's
Oh
how it's
yeah,
like,
exactly. Especially like, let's say like 2,000 or less people go into opening day. Like imagine the parking lot, 20,000 people honking their horn, waving their cell flags, right? And then inside it's just like,
the news organizations are gonna have their
Is
helicopters
Gabe
in the air,
calling?
Gabe's
Oh,
calling
yeah.
me right now.
yeah, he's calling me
I'm gonna
too, man.
I'm gonna answer the phone and he's gonna be like, "Hey, I got a question for you." That's how he always.
Yeah, put him on speaker.
Put them on.
Hey, Gabe.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
What's going on?
Not much. I'm just now finally getting around to finishing the video. I'm hoping to post it tomorrow, but
Okay.
I gotta like go through some stuff. It's
Yeah?
a really long one.
It's a really long video?
one. Yeah, it's a long one, and also
That's what she said, Gabe.
That's what she said, Gabe.
Yeah. Also, let him know he's on a podcast.
Hey, Gabe, you're not on a podcast right now, okay? Brian and I are on a podcast right now. You're on a podcast.
Like
Say hi,
literally
everybody.
right
What's
now,
up,
bro.
Gabe?
You're on the Ricky blog. No, you're good. You're good. Welcome to the pod. What are you doing right now?
finishing my Fans Fest video.
Yeah. Did you have fun at Fans Fest? Tell me more about Fans Fest.
Oh, it was amazing.
Wasn't it?
I mean, if you saw me, I was running around.
Mm-hmm. I saw you.
Camera.
Mhm.
I was making a video and also doing a live stream.
Oh, really? Tell me more about that. How many
Gabe,
viewers?
what can we expect from this video?
Gabe, Gabe, Hal wants to know what we can expect from this video.
Mhm.
It's not like my other ones, I'll say that. Usually it's me walking around and showing off my experience, but
Mhm.
in this video, really, because I was doing a live stream and this video, it's not really like that. It's kind of just more, in a way, kind of showing off the sounds of Fans Fest in a sense.
All right. Hey, what was your favorite part of Fans Fest?
Dang, I would say when I met Dave Cavill.
Yes.
He finally
Yes.
showed me
That was all me, everybody. That was all me.
That was good.
That was all me. Okay, sorry.
Hey, I
just
picked
had
the
to-
actor. I picked the
You did pick
actor.
the
Stephen
actor.
Bass?
You did. But the render, boys. The render.
The render.
I would say the
Fucking Castle.
Yeah, the castle killed me.
I don't know if I can say this because you guys are on a podcast.
You can say anything you want. Anything you want.
You guys have to bleep it out. The day before Fans Fest, and I'll share this in my video, is Grant Balfour wrote "fuck" on my ball.
Grant
Balfour wrote fuck?
That's
On your,
Yeah, he did.
on your what?
He did.
On
You
your
heard it here first.
On his
baseball.
baseball.
On
the
his
night-
baseball.
Oh, his baseball. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
the night
said-
before. The night before we had a
You
private
think, Hal?
signing. The night before we had a private
What kind
signing
of
at
man
the
do you think
hotel.
Grant Balfour is?
And Gabe, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you had him sign the wrong part of the ball or wrong section of the ball.
It's a 2013 All-Star Game ball. It was meant for Grant Balfour, and because I was filming, I asked Rob if he can get Balfour to sign it.
Fucking
And
Rob.
Coco came over to sign his stuff first, and Rob accidentally grouped it in with Coco stuff, and Coco didn't even see it, and he signed it on the sweet spot. And then
Okay.
Rob noticed it afterwards and was like, "Oh shoot, my bad." And at first I was like, I was kind of bothered by it, but then I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm not selling it. It's gonna be in my collection. So I just said whatever. I already bought the ball. Like Coco's on it. I might as well just have Balfour sign it anyway. And I had, I turned it so Balfour wouldn't see it, and yeah, he just was like, "What the fuck? Why did Coco sign it?" And I had to explain to him what happened. And then Rob was in the middle of having him sign other stuff, and he asked him if he could write "fuck" on his jersey. So then he ended up, I was like, might as well, can you put "fuck" on my baseball? And so he wrote "fuck" on the baseball.
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty cool too. Because
Perfect.
he did like quote signs around it too. It's pretty.
Dude, I
Pretty
gave
Can you guys tell us a bit more about how
2013,
maybe you should go on mute and talk to finish your phone call. So Rose, Brian, can you tell us more about how you guys found the fake Dave Cavill and how that happened? Because I
So
know it was
Paul-
Paul wanted that for the longest time.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
Paul
like,
was
Paul-
saying like we should have 10 Dave Cavills, but that one Dave Cavill, he
That
was.
would have been hilarious.
So how did that come together?
So I don't know if we had the if I had like if the Rally Possum idea came first or Cavill. I don't know which one came first, but right off the bat, like I was like, okay, we need mascots there. Let's have the Rally Possum there. So we were like, looking for the costumes, and they were horrible until I found that one, right? And I was like, this is great, especially with Hal in it. It got his face animated. It's all good. So we got that, but then like Dave Cavill, like that was Paul's idea from the get. Like he's like, oh, if we had fake Dave Cavill walking around just saying stupid shit. And so the minute we kind of like decided like how we wanted the character to be, like what type of Dave Cavill, I knew like it hit me like one day I was like, oh shit, I got the perfect person. Stephen Babb, he's done like radio, like podcast stuff before. He was really good behind the mic, quick-witted. And then he kind of looks like him, even though like a better looking version of Dave Cavill, right? And then I knew he did acting and stuff. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, this is a no-brainer. And so I pitched the idea to Steven, and Steven was like, oh hell yeah. I was like, you got a suit? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get it altered and everything. So he got it altered. He went out and got the green and yellow tie. And then me and Paul said, like, dude, let's have him pass out stickers, right? So obviously, Hal, you got the Summer of Boycott Rally Possum sticker.
I want to ask
And
you
then
about
he got
Summer
the
of Boycott for sure. I mean, I love it
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
I'm sure it's
Yeah,
fun.
and then
It's the hashtag,
yeah,
baby.
so yeah, Cavill had the Dave Occhio little Pinocchio stickers that he was passing out, and just like every time he'd say that, hey, you want a sticker? I was just like, oh my god! And he was giving them to Foul Territory, and he was just giving them to everybody, and like Hal was giving this the little middle finger boycott stickers to kids and shit, and it was just it was so fucking funny. It was like
kept walking away. I kept walking away before parents could see what was on the sticker. So you guys were just like, putting, like, hey, we're gonna have Hal, we're gonna give him these stickers, we're gonna give him this goofy outfit. And meanwhile, I was out there like being like, I was getting my cotton candy machine fixed. I was like messaging tons of people on the internet, hey, can you help me fix this cotton candy machine from the 1970s? So I got a fix. I made a shit ton of cotton candy, but then I also had all these free stickers, right? And kids love stickers and they love cotton candy, and it's it's like a little cartoon of a little animal. People were loving it, and I like kept forgetting that the cartoon is flipping the bird. In fact, there's somebody on Twitter posted just like an hour or two ago this picture, this like video of their like couldn't be more than 3-year-old kid who was just crying. He says, oh, and he had the sticker. He said, I want to see this guy again, because he just wanted the cotton candy again. But he's holding up a sticker with flipping the bird.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing that's so cool, and like that's so amazing, right? And like you heard like Scott Braun talking on Foul Territory about this, is like the attention to detail of Fans Fest was like just executed to perfection, right? All those little things, like Hal made sure he got that cotton candy machine working so he could walk around. So you got people passing out cotton candy, stickers, fake Dave Cavill, the banners that were everywhere. We made sure we had banners and sponsored posters throughout the event.
You got the player interviews,
Yeah,
like that must have been
players, and not only that, but
you
like
guys,
legendary.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
and then the Johns, right? We had the Johns. Paul's idea.
Did you see the
right?
the video I took of me just busting out of one and go,
yeah,
like
and then just like there's so many things, and like Melissa Lockard, when she was on Foul Territory, she said it perfectly. She said like the reason why this is so much better and people consider this the greatest fan fest they've ever been to is because the people that are throwing it know exactly what they want, because we are them. You know what I mean? And
it's not some like cheesy, contrived marketing group. Yeah, like, oh, let's have a meeting about this. Or it's like, no, it's you guys made it happen. Yeah.
It was so genuine, and it was so like just perfect, right? And all the vendors and stuff that we had there, it was like, oh my god, the memorabilia. It's like we worked tons of shows with these guys, and so we know exactly like who we need there. And like you had everything from like game use patches from Steve Sale. He was the ex-Stitch guy with the Oakland A's. Like he was selling all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Mike and Carlos, Like they have amazing memorabilia. You got Rob's bobbleheads. You got Guy Slawinski,
Dude,
the
Rob.
resident
Yeah.
artist. Yeah. You have Steve-O custom cards there. You have, Guy Slawinski, the artist, he's there. And then there's just so many additional vendors. We had Andy Dolich there, like the executive of the A's. He was there, signing his
Signing
book and
books.
everything.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
everything.
give a
Like,
shout out.
Bryan,
Yeah.
I remember at the end of Fans Fest, I walked around with you, like, this was like after 4 o'clock, people were done. You still had some
Yes.
buttons. So you were just handing out buttons to some
Yeah.
of the vendors. And you were
Mhm.
asking them how they did, and what did they tell to you? Like, I remember, what did they say to you at the end of Fans Fest? What did the vendors say to you?
Yeah, so there was a couple things that really stood out what they said, right? One, they said this is the greatest event they've ever been at, like from just just the feeling they got, the atmosphere, the vibe, everything. It was the best thing they've ever been a part of. And then the second thing is it was the best event financially that they've ever done. Like almost every vendor sold out of everything. We had a vendor almost sell out twice, like the lemonade group that was there. They had to go buy lemons just so they can continue on with the event.
We conveniently put FanFest only 2 blocks from the restaurant supply store, so that was good. I know that restaurant supply store. I bought cut onions and sauerkraut there many a time on
They
the
got
way to
lemons.
Coliseum.
They got lemons over there. Yeah,
They definitely got lemons there. Don't worry.
Yeah, and so that's why, like what Paul was saying earlier, like so many people have reached back out to us because they want to be involved in events coming up like throughout the year, because now they know the type of like reception they're going to get when they go there, and just how much like love all the fans show these vendors. They're like, dude, we want to be a part of this. Like, we got to continue doing this. And the great thing is a lot of these vendors and stuff after the fact started getting business as a result. Like Marquis Products, he's been printing up banners, the FanFest banner, like making sales from that. And
Dude, you guys are impacting the
I
community. That's
remember
amazing. That's
we found
amazing.
him-
we found him because I was trying to see if some sucker would give us a free stage or something. So I put
Yes.
a picture of an old Fans Fest, when they John Clendon Square when the A's ran it, which had a huge stage with huge audio and big old banners, and nobody gave me a free stage, but he messaged me at the bottom. He goes, I don't have a stage, but I can make you as many banners as you want. So
and he did.
What's his name again? And where's he from?
Nick. So that's Nick with Marquis Products. They're up there in like border of Lodi, Stockton.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think it's Stockton or something. Yeah. So he did. Oh, you're muted, Paul.
You're mute. Yeah.
No, I don't know what happened.
Maybe I was muted. So
Okay.
he's from Stockton. His office is in downtown Stockton. And so since I'm in Stockton, it was my job to go over and get the fucking banners, right? So I go over there and I start talking to the guy, and him and I, turns out we're both from the same small town in the foothills of California. We both graduated from the same high school.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, wow. And like he was like playing golf or was on the golf team with like, my favorite teacher. And it was like his name, shout out Mr. Beeler. Mr. Beeler, shout out.
Mr. B.
Mr. Beeler's still driving that old raggedy RAV4 too, apparently. So he hasn't changed his car in fucking 20 years. But it was just kind of wild. I was like, bro, like when he told me this, I was like, did you fucking stalk me? Like, this is fucking creepy, bro. Like, are you sure? But yeah, it was kind of wild. So like Nick and I are like besties now. Sorry, Bryan.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Dude, one more thing I want to talk
that.
about too is that you mentioned Rob Roberts. Like, dude, he did such an incredible job with those bobbleheads and like the see the players' reactions and everything. Like, shout out NorCal Nodders, 33 Customs. Give him a follow. I've never seen cooler bobbleheads in my life. Like, I'm not even joking. He makes the coolest bobbleheads you've ever seen.
No, they're the best.
And Steve-O, I want to point out Steve-O because Steve-O's cards, right? He was going to do another show the next day on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
He sold out so many of his cards. He didn't have enough cards to do the show the next day. That's how good. That's how good of an event this was for him. His dad was like so pumped.
Guy Slawinski said this was the best event financially he's ever worked.
Yeah. Good for Guy.
And
he
deserves some love, man.
We gotta get Guy on
some love, man.
We gotta get Guy on the podcast too. Yeah.
So
yeah. So if you're
you
in,
got,
if you're in, oh, so before you go
yeah, no,
say
no,
that, how like if you're
keep
in,
talking
if
about Guy.
no, I was saying if you're in A's fandom, right? Like scroll down on our Instagram to find that the sponsor banner. You need a service, you need something like provided like to you or something like that. Go look up one of the sponsors and give your business to them. You know what I mean? Say, hey, you were at FanFest, you gave back to me as a fan, and like Cruise Plumbing, yo,
Take my
I need
money.
you.
Gonna
You know what I
shout
mean?
Cruise
out.
Plumbing, they were like
I
our
was gonna
first,
shout
they were
out.
like our first sponsor.
Yeah, you go up. You already see it, like with the Treehouse Cafe. People are like, "I'm driving up there just to go have a cup of coffee."
Yep.
Like, if you're going to Tahoe, stop at the Treehouse Cafe and go get
If you
something
go
to
to the
eat there.
Treehouse Cafe, take a look around because you might find a Hal the hot dog guy card
Mm.
somewhere around there. Just keep your eyes
Wow.
open.
Hit
Yeah,
it.
we ended up sending him like we sent him
Shirts and a
a
poster, right?
die bar poster. Yeah, and so yeah, so
So they
we
can
sent
have a
him some
dive bar
stuff too.
poster there. Sick.
Yeah, yeah. So he's
They're
dude,
right by they're right
super
by
dope.
John Fisher owns a house like right in King's City right there or whatever it is, King's Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know what I mean. That that's what I like. That's what I'm hoping like happens with this event is a lot of the organizations and the groups that were there continue to get business from the very fans that were a patron of their booth or something like that. And I think moving forward when we do these events and stuff, I think that's a cool thing. Everybody gets information about the vendors that are there and continue to use their services, their products, give them business and just help support the local community. You know what I mean? And just
This would be
everything
a
just
part of this
reciprocating.
community is about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I want to ask you too, you guys, so you guys were instrumental in getting all the players. Um what did the players think?
Oh man, so Coco, I text back and forth like the day after, like after he left, made sure everybody got home safe and everything like that. But like Ben Grieve, man, Ben Grieve was like, dude, he's been loving it. He's been loving all the stuff. Like he's like now like reinvested into what's going on. Same
Hell
thing
yeah.
with Balfour. Balfour's like adding all the pictures that we tag him, that people will tag us, and then when I repost the picture with the FanFest background, then I basically tag Grant so he sees it. But he's been reposting it onto his story and everything like that on IG, and just like it keeps texting me and Rob, and just like they're just blown away with basically how magical that whole event was. And there's just such a good feeling that they got from being there, and yeah, and they're extending themselves to us, like saying, hey, you got something else in the pipeline later on in the year or something, call me, and if I'm free, I'm coming.
Hell yeah. That's
The,
amazing, dude.
I can imagine too that there's a part of this of the Oakland A's ceasing to exist that is especially painful, I think, for some of the players, right? Where if you're Grant Balfour or something, you're not making the Hall of Fame, you're not getting your jersey retired anywhere. But, as long as the Oakland A's exist, there's, the chance, every few years that they'll invite you back and you'll come out, at the stadium and
Dude, but that clip's never
just
gonna die. That
say
clip of
hi.
game 162 is never gonna die.
Right,
Like,
right.
and I
That'll
love
never
that.
die.
Like, that'll
That'll
yeah,
never
yeah,
die. But I
yeah.
think that's why he's so excited that
Yeah.
this community, and especially that people like you guys have worked so hard to keep this community going, why he'd be so excited. I remember I worked for a few years as a vendor at for the Washington Nationals. And I remember being there and seeing there was this one small place between the second and third upper deck where they had, the retired numbers from the Montreal Expos. Gary Carter, Andre Dawson, maybe a couple others. But I just remember kind of thinking like, shit, like if you're Gary Carter, you're in the Hall of Fame, you have a Montreal Expos hat on, you got no place to go back to. I mean, I guess like hockey games, right? But like but there's no, there's no Expos old timer games to go back to. And so, I think probably this was really meaningful to these players too, because they realized, oh, this community is still going to be around. I can still connect with this community and stuff. And yeah.
So that yeah, my like head spinning with all these things popping into my head. But so one funny thing, before I touch on a couple of other things, is like Coco was funny because I was picking up Coco from the airport on Friday, right? And like he's like, hey, what car are you gonna be in? I'm like, oh, dude, white truck, bald head, tall, and incredibly handsome. And he didn't respond. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then so I pick him and his significant other up, Tika. What's up, Tika? And and so I pick him up, he gets in the car and he's just kind of like this. Like I'm sitting over here and he's like this. Every time I talk, he's just going like this, like giving me the side eye like that. And I'm like, man, what? I'm like, fuck, I never should have said that, right?
You're hella nervous or whatever, yeah.
And so it turned out he had a kink in his neck and he couldn't turn his head left. So the whole time I thought like, oh damn, I messed up with Coco. He's thinking like, what event am I walking into, right? But one thing that all the players said, right, is that they didn't know what to expect going into this, like a fans fest led by Last Dive Bar and the Oakland 68s. They're like, what the fuck is this, right?
It's a big
and
leap
then
of
so
faith.
a lot of them were in shock with like how massive it turned out to be, how perfectly executed it was, how on schedule everything
You guys
was.
were organized as hell, huh? You guys
Yeah,
were
very organized.
Grant said we were organized, and to me that was the biggest compliment he could have given us.
Yeah, and then the other thing is the A's haven't done a fan fest 3 years, right? Going on like fourth year, right?
Yeah, 2019, yeah.
I guess they did one right before COVID, 2020.
Yeah, but with that, they haven't done a lot of the things they used to do as far as like fan engagement and getting the players out, getting the past players out and having all those meet and greets and those private things. So they haven't done a lot. So fans have been yearning for attention. They've been yearning for love. They've been yearning for this shit. So the way that Fan Fest was offered to them, like they were just blown away with it, to where like their emotions were just coming out all day long. And so you saw that, and the players saw that, the players felt that. And so that made it like, that much more special. You know what I mean? Because the fans were yearning for this shit. They deserved it. And it was like they finally got what they deserved. You know what I mean?
Dude, way to go.
And that was cool to sit back and watch that. Because I was up on the balcony.
Yeah, it was
Paul
cool
was taking
watch
pictures.
From afar, yeah.
I had a kind of an interesting vantage point of Fans Fest, where where I was kind of on a lot of text messages watching you guys do a lot of work and not doing much work. And I have to say, when you're saying like, oh my God, the fans were yearning for this, the fans deserve this, like from the bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of at least 10,000 fans' hearts, like what you guys put in, like the incredible amount of work that you guys put in was so meaningful to people. Like, it felt like we're a normal, fan group, man. It was great. You guys
It looked really cool. Like, I mean, I'm in Mexico, and I was just looking on social media and stuff, and I was like, damn, it was the first time in 5 months I was like, I actually want to be back home right now. Like, this would be kind of cool to go to,
FOMO.
So, yeah. But I can't wait for opening day.
Like,
yeah, that's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, because I mean, like what we do with Last Sidebar, it's like what we try to do is take our personalities out of Last Sidebar, right? And just show a lot of the imagery, show a lot of the fandom, show a lot of the Coliseum, and basically be a mirror, right? To where the consumer is looking at Last Sidebar and seeing a reflection. That reflection is their experiences at the Coliseum, their experiences with their family watching baseball, their experiences with the players and their personal stories. And so they see that one shot of this portion of the Coliseum and it reminds them of something. And so like Fan Fest was a labor of love from people that love the A's and love the Coliseum so much, right? And I know it was a celebration.
Love the
yeah,
Coliseum
the Troughs, you know what I mean? And I know it was a celebration. Yeah, it was a celebration of Oakland sports, but I mean, 90% of the people there were there because of the A's, right? Mm-hmm. And so this was really like a coming out party for all, like, like the Ballers, especially, this was the first time they were exposed to the public on this large scale and stuff like that. So seeing people light up to see the Ballers and talking with them and you know,
Oh shit, did we lose him? Did I lose you? Am I still here?
yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, that was that was huge, right? And then having the president of the Roots and the Soul there speaking with everybody. I mean, it was the ports were there, and they had Splash, they had their general managing partner there. Like, it was very important for all these people involved, and you could tell, and so I appreciate that. And even like the Bay Area Panthers, who used to be in Oakland, they came all the way up and donated all these jerseys for the silent auction and stuff like that. And so not only us, but all the vendors and the sports teams and community partners that were there, they put a lot of time and effort into their presence there, and it showed, right? Every booth looked amazing. And so, but yeah, I get really emotional, like looking back at it and just hearing like the effect that it had on people. Like, people are just like, this is one of the greatest moments I've ever had.
Hell
being,
yeah, guys. Hell yeah.
being a fan.
That's what I kept hearing. It's the best fan fest they've ever been to. That's,
Yeah.
you know, for being our very first
Absolutely.
one, pulling it right out of our ass and like getting it done. The one thing I really want to take away from this with the players, right, is if we do this again next year, like, we have got, you know, players in our pockets as like references.
Yeah.
Right, because like we might reach out to some player and then we're like, oh fuck it, who the fuck are
Be
these
like,
guys?
no,
right?
but talk to Coco.
Right?
Yeah, talk to Coco.
Go talk to Coco. Go talk to
Go
Grant.
talk to Coco.
Yeah.
Go talk to Billy North, who loves us.
Yeah. So they got, and
Even
that's
Billy
one of
North,
the players.
man, he made it there, rolled himself out there. Even
Yeah.
though, I mean, he was, he was hurting because he's,
Yeah.
but
It was Mike
he
Norris.
even made the effort. Or it was Mike
Yeah,
Norris.
Mike
sorry.
Norris.
Mike
Yeah.
Norris, sorry.
No, but we all these guys, right? Mike Norris, he lives close, so he drove, but somebody drove him. And so all the players, we got them round trip first class flights, right? So I worked with all the players to schedule their flights and make sure they had the preferred airline that they like. I didn't just do none of them got Southwest. They all flew their preferred flight. I got them all first class. I asked them, do you want a window seat? You want an aisle seat? So like all the details of that were lined up. All the official hotel, right, of FanFest, the waterfront at the beautiful Jack London Square. So
Shout out the hotel. They hooked it up. They were good to us.
So they made sure nobody paid. So we had unlimited access to the valet. All rooms were upgraded. I mean, it was flawless. The night before we had the private signing, we had everything catered for them. LDB picked up that tab. So they all had a nice spread of like different pizzas and chips and cookies and drinks and water and beer if they wanted. Only Billy North wanted beer, but you know what I mean? And so all that, all the tables had tablecloths over, and we went in there and put the FanFest, thing on there and displayed all the items. I mean, it was flawless. It was flawless. And then they had ultimate privacy. Nobody was, we didn't leak that they were all staying there. So you had no graphers hanging out.
We had one guy and his kid like randomly walk in. I don't know if you were there for this, Bryan. You might have been out. You might have been getting Billy North during this. Like, we had this one guy who just like walked in with his kid, and they're like over there like checking out Rob's bobbleheads. And Gabe is standing right next to me, and he's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know." And so I go over there and go, "Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." And I'm like, yeah, it's a private event, man. You gotta go. And he goes, "Oh, okay." And he gets his kid and he leaves.
Yeah.
But I was just like, wow, this one rando guy.
Well, now that you've shouted out the Waterfront Hotel, next year when you guys do this again, you're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
We'll do it differently.
Next year. So, but like you were mentioning earlier about the bobbleheads,
I'll say,
like
what one player. I remember hearing this. Our good friend Trevor May, I think he called you guys up or the 68s up and asked, is that flight refundable?
Oh yeah.
And he said yes. He goes, okay, good. I want to pay for my flight. So that
Trevor May, baby.
Trevor May wanted to be there. He was like, like, no, don't pay for my flight. I'm paying for my flight because I want to be there.
Shout
Yeah.
out Trevor May. Dude, I was just thinking about Trevor May. He was only there for one season, but like he's putting himself into this unique territory. Like he came to
It was the-
Oakland because he wanted to play for the fans. Then you
It
got to
was the
connect with
only-
them there. Like I think it's really cool what Trevor May is doing, man. We got to have him on the pod. We got to get Trevor on the pod. Yeah.
It was the only autograph that I got. I forced my way to the front of the line. Got my my reverse
Mm.
boycott thing signed by
Yeah, I
That's
didn't get
pretty
any
cool.
autographs.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah.
I got Scott Braun's autograph, right? Because that was like how we got foul territory to come out. Like I was like, man, I'm gonna get him to sign the vest. So I had his, but then Sunday morning, Coco, when we were getting him a card to go to the airport, he signed my vest because I was like, oh shit, let me just at least get one signature, right? And so, but going back to the bobbleheads, like. You know me. I throw Rob out there to anybody. I'm like, we can make LDB can make you a bobblehead, and I don't even ask Rob because I know he's down, right? And so like literally he was on it. I think Ben Grieve was the first one, right? Because Ben Grieve and him are friends, and so made him a bobblehead. So then when we landed Coco, like there wasn't much time before FanFest. So Rob hopped on that, and I don't even know how he cranked it out.
Him and his
Yeah,
wife
and-
Mela.
so
And he's gonna be sent,
Yeah.
and he's gonna be sending
Yeah.
the big one to Coco.
He's gonna send it to
sending
him.
Rob's mailing Coco that. He's mailing Grant his. Like Grant hit him up the next day and he's like, yo, you got my bobblehead ready? And then Ben Green's
Dude,
getting his and everything like that. So
I love Balfour. I mean, they're all amazing. They're all so good. Like, but dude, the Balfour one for me is so fucking cool. Like the font and everything.
Oh, it's
Like,
perfect.
it's just so cool, dude. Yeah.
and
I
that
wanna
one's
say,
not finished. That one's not finished. He's got to finish the base on that. So Balfour gave him shit about that too. He's so he's got to finish that one up.
I saw Balfour like walking around maybe 3:40, 3:30, 3:45 before the Fans Fest was over. He just was walking
Yeah.
around, because he just like wanted
Yeah, it
to
was
see
cool.
it, wanted
He
to
took a
hang out.
picture.
I remember I think I saw Jen Truly. She was out there and she was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I was like, just go up and talk to him.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't talk to him. I'm like, he's just walking around the Fans Fest like anyone else. Go up and talk to him, like people like,
Yeah.
but
Well,
everybody was
having that lemonade. And then
Huh?
he took a picture at Will Cruz's booth with the John Fisher clown, and he was like putting the drink up to John Fisher's mouth.
Dude, Balfour's so great, man. He's so hilarious. Hey, well, so
Dude,
I know you
well,
guys got a meeting in like 8 minutes. Is there anything you guys
shit.
want to? If you guys
Yeah.
want to wrap it
Oh,
up,
I
or like
wanna-
anything you guys
I want to
say?
ask one question.
You get in there.
Yeah.
This has been extremely positive, an extremely positive pod. But if you guys have like 7 or 8 minutes, I want to ask about that mega tweet thread you sent about MLB suing you and all this other junk. Like, what
Yeah.
can you tell us about that? I've heard some things through the grapevine about that, but what the heck was
Yeah.
all that about? MLB suing Last Eyeball? What's going on?
Yeah, no, so they didn't sue us, but no, yeah, I saw the tweet from Cavill, and I just was disgusted with that line in there that said, this year we're going to be celebrating 55 years of Oakland history. And then looking at the murals and knowing what
Dude,
the
that
murals
was
mean to me.
that was such a bad mural, dude. I could have done that on Photoshop. Like, I like literally, that was zero.
It was
effort put
no.
into it. There was
All
no
those
effort.
pictures, the painted mural behind home plate, the ramps, the 2 ramps behind home plate.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah,
going back
the
up to the
championship
vending
last
room,
ones.
you guys all
Yeah.
know where the vending
Yeah.
room is, right? When you're
Yeah.
going back up to the
Oh,
vending room.
between the first and second deck. Yeah.
Yeah. They just picked like 1/3 of those photos. Those are all photos from that.
Just
They
green
didn't- they didn't-
background, A's logo
Okay.
in there. Boom. And that
Crazy
was it,
tweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Cavill says, "Oh, we're so excited to present this banner. We're going to be celebrating 50 years plus of
Yeah.
A's bullshit, blah blah." Okay, so then you respond.
So I read that and instantly it struck a chord with me, and I'm like, nah, motherfucker. I'm like, and what we've been doing with Last Eyeball.
Hang on. Brian did all of this without talking to me,
Oh yeah,
but
dude.
I fully support it. Like he was already like 8 tweets in before I figured out what the fuck he was doing, and I was like, well, whatever. Let him go.
Yeah, this was all me. I didn't consult with my boss. And so, yeah, I was like, that's it, dude. That's it. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm letting this shit out. Like, when the stuff went down with them, we took the high road and didn't mention anything because we were still doing stuff. Our commercial was still on the air, and it's like we were still going to the games and everything. So it was
we
like,
want to be good boys. We wanted to do stuff like this. Like we wanted to work with them. We were
Yeah.
having
Dude,
fun.
literally a year ago, like,
making
or
cool
2 years
shit.
ago, right? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what was it? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and so I said, you know what? I'm gonna just pick a few. I'm gonna pick a few, and then just show them like, hey, you remember this? You remember this? Yeah, people don't know about this, but this is who you guys really are. You know what I mean? This is what you guys did with us. And so basically, what happened? We filed for federal trademarks so we could protect our business name, right? Baseball's last sidebar. So we went out, and so in the final 30 days of filing, MLB was notified because the word baseball is in our filing, and so it automatically lawyers get contacted from MLB. Hey, review this. Are you guys okay with this? We're about to, we're about to sign these guys' federal trademark. And so a lawyer by the name of Chanel Latimer, shout out to Chanel.
Yeah,
she basically emailed us, and it was a long fucking email, and it basically said, we want to reach out to you. We have some concerns. So instantly I knew what it was. So did Paul. And so I emailed right away and, said, yeah, we are totally open to talking, and we will work with you guys no matter what, and everything. So
who does
turned
she
out
work
they
for? Major League Baseball?
MLB. She's
MLB,
a
yeah,
lawyer
this is
for
MLB.
MLB, New York.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was 3 additional lawyers that were on there as like viewers, but she was the one handling the case. And so basically we talked to her and everything, and she basically said, we saw your site, we saw who you were and what you guys do with your proceeds and everything that you are. And they went and looked at our Instagram and everything. And so they saw all the work we were doing. And like, so they reached out to A's Legal and say, hey, is this for real? Are these guys real? And A's Legal was like, oh yeah, we love them. Yeah, please work with them. So then she comes back and she's like, yeah, A's Legal wants to work with you guys. There was 8 designs, right?
He had a line in there somewhere where it was like, normally I just shut you guys down.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
people like you, so we're going to work with you. Which we were
exactly.
Go!
Yeah, so there's a term.
I assume "Give Me an A" was numero
That was one of them.
uno.
That was
Yeah,
one.
so that was-
We
I
really like this
remember
Hal
when-
guy. We really like this Hal guy. Yeah.
I remember when you guys made that for me, and I was like, you just putting the A's logo in there, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, all
So-
right.
So in the paperwork, there was 8 designs, 7 of which were what they call trade dress, where it's not a direct trademark violation, but what it is being of who we are and how we market ourselves and the context of the design, that combined is a violation and suggests that you're basically making something too close to the official trademark and the official logos. There was one that was pictured that was a trademark violation. That was a Stephen Vogt design. And then there was other ones additionally that we were verbally discussing on the phone, going through the website together. So there was like 12 or 13 designs, right? Another one was a trademark violation. So every single one that they identified was ones that we were working on with the A's. Like trademark.
Every single one.
Every single one of them. The direct trademark violation.
They used the "Give Me an A" on my
cardboard
cutout.
Yeah.
On my cutout because I was all worried about that, and then all of a sudden I see they use it for the big cutout during COVID. They just plopped your fucking design on there. I was like, well, I guess they're okay with it.
Yeah, and so there was a bunch of stuff because we had such a close relationship with them, and we would do so much like work with the broadcast team, both TV and radio, in-game stuff and everything like that. And so like
we had a direct line with Catherine Aker.
Yeah, like we literally had a direct line with her, Parker Preston, and stuff like that. And so basically,
and whenever you call that phone call, this phone just starts smelling like sulfur.
Instantly, instantly. So I came back. So we talked on the phone, obviously, and so I said, I want to bring something to your attention. This trademark violation, which is like that's it, you're shut down. this was commissioned and this was completely initiated by the Oakland A's. I have, and so I had to show all the fucking communications with that and say, look, they're reaching out to us. They approved every step of the way, even had us make edits and had us do this. And look, here's pictures of it in the private like green room that they have on cupcakes and cakes and presents and all this shit. And
Dude, they're
that
so
street
slimy.
design,
They're trying to turn it
that
back on you guys.
yeah,
so
that
slimy,
street design, dude, that street design, right? That was presented. So when the players walked into their hotel rooms, they had a gift basket from Last Sidebar of all these street things, the T-shirt, and they all wore to their little event and everything like that. And we were invited.
You guys
to
were like
that-
their
that
marketing
pri-
department.
How
You
much
guys
do
were
the
like
A's
their
pay you
marketing
for that
department.
kind of stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look back at it.
We did
and
send
then-
them an invoice, but the invoice was only for the physical things. Like we didn't charge them
Yeah,
for the design.
at cost. At
It was
cost.
at cost. Yeah.
And then the Ray Fosse. So
And
in
that's
that
what got you
picture,
in
there's
trouble.
4. So
With
well,
MLB.
yeah. So in the picture, there's 4 yellow boxes. That was for fucking Ray Fosse, dead Ray Fosse's fucking widow and his family. And they had we did these metal print signs for him, and they got the whole like set of stuff of "We love you, Ray." And so like it's crazy. So and then I didn't even post this, but I got DMs from Catherine Akers saying I reviewed your website, and this is before MLB. I reviewed your website. I love what you guys do, and I want to figure out how to get you in here selling and being featured as our community partner, selling your stuff. And so
They wanted you to
the
sell stuff
entire
at
time,
Howard Terminal.
well, no, at the Coliseum
Potentially.
already.
At the
As
Coliseum?
early as-
But yeah,
Yeah.
the Coliseum, Howard Terminal was our like dream. But
Yeah.
It was all
yeah,
our dream, man.
they were trying. Yeah, they really wanted us. Even when I ran into Cavill, like even Cavill's like, oh, we're trying to get you guys in here to get a booth. And I'm like,
yeah, they
"Oh,
were coming to us,
oh,
and so yeah, and so like
Here's a
even
trough
before-
tin.
So when MLB came after you, what did the A's do? Right? Did the A's just
Cut-
say
so-
no?
cut communication.
Sam-
They stopped talking to us.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so they did all this stuff, and so you'd think like, oh, don't worry, Catherine Akers got our back, no problem. So you called up. When did it?
No,
what
Catherine
month?
Catherine Aker issued a death sentence. So internally, there was a memo sent to everybody: do not talk, speak, interact, mention anything Last Dive Bar.
When-
Period. They had physical signs posted up in the broadcast booth that said, "Do not show, mention, or talk Last Dive Bar." They basically like cease and desist everything Last Dive Bar. I had people on the radio telling me like, "What the fuck
Was
is this? What's going on?" And I'm showing them the email
They pulled
from
your
the
ad
fucking
and
MLB
everything,
saying we
yeah.
have
Was this-
we
Yep.
have hang on. We have instructed the Oakland A's to work with you. We love what you do. You're good for the A's. You're good for their brand. You're good for baseball. Twice they sent communications to the A's saying you need to work with Last Dive Bar. 0 communications. They didn't email us a single time. I emailed Catherine Akers once and said, look, they're telling you to work with us. What's going on? Nothing. The next time I saw them was at that bullshit thing they had at Jack London Square, the Spirit Week, and they didn't even fucking look me in the eye. Like they never knew me. And just the year before, we worked their entire fucking bingo night. We did all of that shit. Not a single thank you, not a single social media mention. We created that fucking bingo night. And most of those out of the fucking 12 bingo nights we had, or I don't know how many we had, I'm fucking taking down the chairs and setting up the fucking cards and shit.
Yep.
And then I set my alarm because at 6:30 I got to run down and go set up a whole fucking theme night.
Yeah, the A's are
You know what I mean?
And you and me both,
And
Brian.
that thread is
me
nothing.
getting to the fucking going to
that
fucking
thread is that thread is nothing,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
We had to delete over 400 posts. That's how much interaction we had with the A's and all these designs and they're not just
So I
designs.
want to be
campaigns.
clear. They shut off communication with you before they decided before they announced we're going to Vegas.
So they cut it off
Yeah.
in
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
January, and they made the Vegas announcement in April. Basically,
See, guys, I think they knew. I think they knew
they may have known.
before
They may have
April.
known, but like we got when did we get contacted? Was that October or November by MLB? It was like October, wasn't it?
You should have
Yeah, something
known,
like
dude.
And then we had a deadline, and we beat that deadline
We
by like
crushed
months.
the deadline. Yeah.
And because we wanted the approval before the regular season started.
And we got and so we got
and we
it.
got
They're
it.
jerks. They're
They're
fucking
jerks.
jerks.
They're
They're
jerks.
fucking
Yeah.
jerks. They're fucking jerks. Even if they knew that.
Yeah.
Even if they knew that, why say no more contact?
Yo, it gets
Why?
so fucking deep, dude. It gets so deep in the weeds. You have no idea. So like Catherine thought what the fuck Bryan.com was the same company as Last Dive Bar and the same company as the 68s. Like she was so confused. So there's a key reason why all this shit happened. Travis LaDolce left the marketing and PR team. The minute he left, they were fucking clueless and had no idea the pulse of the fan base. They didn't know anybody because Catherine Aker was running the show with everybody she placed after. But Travis is amazing. 20 years working there, and he's an A's fan since he was a kid. Right? He left to go to the Giants in 2019. So he left right when this shit was about to hit the wall, right? A lot of people left.
Dude, a lot of people
left.
dude, do you remember like
2019 going into
Kyle
2020?
Skinner? Remember the
Guys,
Kyle Skinner left.
He was so good.
Guys,
So, you know what I mean?
2019,
that was the end. That was the
2019,
end.
after 2019, post 2019, every single fucking game, I'd have to go to the restaurant supply store to just fill up my goddamn.
Don't you guys have a
like
meeting?
they just didn't give a
meeting?
shit. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah. You know how many times I told Catherine Aker, if there's anything that we're doing that's not like, not like with the rules, let us know, text me, email us, anything. We'll change it. They knew how willing we were to do this because of how passionate we were with what we're doing. You know what I mean? And not once did she say shit. It was the MLB that fucking had to tell us and work with us to correct the things that they completely fucked up and led us astray.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because we were under the impression we were doing the right thing.
All that is understandable. Some lawyers aren't talking to other lawyers. They're out there in New York. Everybody doesn't have the time of day to, spend a bunch of hours telling the other lawyers out in New York, hey, these guys are cool. But the thing that just drives me up the wall is that when it happened, they didn't just say, oh, yeah. You guys are cool. You guys are cool. Catherine Aker didn't get on the phone with New York and say, no, they're cool. They're cool. What she did was, for some reason, at the moment when, all that goodwill that you'd built up for years, came due, she just went the opposite way. And she said, oh, the way that, you know what? I don't have time for this.
Dude,
I don't have time to deal with this. I gotta go start meeting with, I gotta go start, flying to Las Vegas every weekend to meet with community organizations there to lie to their faces. I don't got time to lie to these jokers' faces anymore. So you know what? Just don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was pretty hurtful. But you know what? So that tweet was just like, you know what, motherfuckers, fuck you. You guys fucked with us. You guys, were vindictive. You guys did what you did. So you know what? I'm gonna let a little bit of shit out. And don't worry, there's gonna be stories and everything. We have people lined up that want to basically talk about all these things. We got receipts for motherfucking days. I got all the DMs. I got all the emails. I got all the text messages.
On the documentary crew, we get into a little more detail with it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I don't want to keep you guys.
The documentary is going to be 60 hours long.
It is. It is going to be 60 hours.
I think they're just filming.
Sometimes I talk to them and I go, well, there's no way, even if this documentary is 3 hours long, there's no way this is going to make it. But
hey, what time is it? We got to go, don't we?
I was going to say, we got a meeting right now, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bar. Yeah, Bryan Johansen, Paul Bailey. Make sure to go follow them at Last Dive Bar. Check out all their gear at lastdivebar.com.
Go buy a poster, everybody.
Go
buy one of these.
Dude, they got everything.
Lastdivebar.com.
They got everything and more. Actually, I want to do a before and after, dude. I remember before, like 2 of those things were pretty much empty, so I'm gonna do a before and after a shot of your wall, dude. Yeah, from last time. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, I got something I need to put up there. All right,
thank you guys.
Hal, we'll see you in the next meeting, huh?
Yeah, Hal, you gonna wear that? You gonna wear that?
Alex,
I'm so hot. I'm
all right.
sweating. I cannot wait for this podcast to be over.
Yeah. Alex, you're coming to the boycott, right?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back for opening day. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll see y'all there. All right, guys. Have a great night.
Talk to you soon.
Buenas noches.
Peace.